This weekend, a fun event in Eckerty, Indiana. It's Old Eckerty Days, and joining me in the studio is Luke Kelly. Luke is the marketing coordinator for the Old Eckerty Days. And Luke, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me this morning. I'm excited to be here.
Well, now, I guess first thing we want to talk about, a lot of people know where Eckerty is, kind of, because we all know where the Eckerty Y is, but that's really not Eckerty. Eckerty is a little up the road.
It is a little bit up the road. So if you'll get on State Road 64 and head east, when you get to the Eckerty Y, you'll make a right and stay on 64, and then you'll see plenty of Old Eckerty Days signage along the highway. We're close to 3/4 of a mile off of the highway, next to the post office.
How long has Old Eckerty Days been going on?
This is our 18th year, so in 2 more years we'll celebrate 20 years of having Old Eckerty Days, and we've just grown tremendously over the past 5 to 6 years.
I know that it has become more prevalent in my mind over the past few years, and you said this year is going to be one of the biggest.
It is going to be one of the biggest. So I was talking to our booth coordinator, Angela Laswell, just last week, and she informed me that of our booth spaces, we were sold out at that time.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's great.
We're expecting a large vendor turnout, and so hopefully that leads to a large crowd turnout.
Okay, now it's called Old Eckerty Days. Is there any significance to old, or is it just that it's been going on long enough we call it old?
Well, no, actually, if you learn the history of the town of Eckerty, we're an old railroad town, and we were actually at one point in time in the 1800s a very prosperous railroad town with several businesses and a depot. And so we started with that tradition, and we used to actually dress every year in old clothing to represent the time period. And we kind of got away from that, and we just left the name. We are a nonprofit organization, and so old got into the title, and we still use the time. A lot of time the Historical Society will come out, and we will talk about, in their section of the booth, just talk about the old times and Old Eckerty and what it was like to live in that time period. But to celebrate the bicentennial of Indiana this year, we're pretty excited to team up with the Crawford County Tourism Department to bring the Frontier Days costume contest, and that'll be a judging of people who want to bring back some of that old time period clothing. We'll do that right after the parade.
Great. Okay, Now let's talk about your schedule. Okay. Thursday is kind of an easy night. I can handle that because it's the Euchre Tourney at Deb's Truck Stop. That's what's going on Thursday night. It
is. We're grateful to Deb's Truck Stop there in Birdseye to allow us to come out. The doors will actually open at 6, and what we'll do is there'll be sandwiches and drinks, and then she allows Old Eckerty Days to bring in our bake sale, and we have a bake sale and sell pies and cakes and things of that nature. So make sure you head on out to Deb's there on Thursday evening.
Okay, now it starts in earnest on Friday. Let's talk about Friday's schedule.
Yes. So Friday, basically all of our booths will be open by 5 p.m. All times are Eastern. And then at 6 o'clock, we'll have our Little Miss and Master on the second stage. We've grown to the point where we need 2 stages in Eckerty now for the event, so we're pretty excited about that. At 5 p.m., the Queens and Princesses will also be in Eckerty doing private interviews and some judging. That will take place at the Eckerty Christian Church on top of the hill. And then so we bring them down to the festival at 7:30 p.m. to announce the winning, the placement. So we're pretty excited. We bring judges from all over. We've had judges from Ohio, Evansville. We don't have local judges, so we bring in judges from all over who are experienced and familiar with pageantry. So it's a pretty big deal for us in Eckerty. Then once the pageants conclude, we will end the evening with the Iron Mountain Band. And last year was the first year we brought them into Eckerty. They drew a very significant crowd for us, and they entertained until the crowd was tired. So they do some classic rock and some older country, just some really, really good stuff that'll make you want to get up and dance. So.
Okay, and they go from 8 to 10.
From 8 to 10, yes.
Okay, and that's Friday night.
That's Friday night.
Then on Saturday, the booths open, and we're talking about booths. Are we talking about food booths, vendor booths? What kind of booths? What are the different varieties of booths?
We have a very large variety. There's all kinds of food. Any kind of food that you could think of at a county fair type level, you can find that at Old Eckerty Days. We have various vendors from people who take old barnwood and turn them into crafts. We have your typical vendors from things such as Tupperware, Mary Kay and that type of thing. And then we have people who bring in, in the past we've had knife vendors and just very unique things that you can't walk into a store and buy that maybe you want to go ahead and start your Christmas shopping or something now. In Eckerty, some of these unique handcrafted things that are for sale.
Okay, so that's the kind of booths that we have.
Yes.
Because that's what opens up to start things on Saturday morning.
That is correct.
Okay,
At
let's
9
talk about
a.m.
Saturday.
At 9 a.m., all of our booths will be open. And then the Eckerty Lodge, I've been told, will have a breakfast booth set up to serve breakfast until the lunch crowd arrives. And then officially at 10 a.m. is when our opening prayer will happen. And the VFW will come with the present the color. And then I'm on tap to sing the national anthem. And then as soon as that concludes, we will bring out our baby contests.
Okay.
And that's a large deal in Eckerty. So we'll have anywhere from birth to 5 years old on Saturday morning, taking up not only the church, but our second stage as well, depending on age category. All of that information is available on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Old Eckerty Days. But the pageants will take up a good chunk of the morning until about 11 o'clock.
Okay. And then we get things going with well, I guess that's when people really start eating and things, but that's when the crowd who are coming in to see the Old Eckerty Days, not necessarily associated with a baby or a toddler.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have to tell you, even if you're not, it's a good time to be there because we do ask questions of those kids, especially as we get into that 3 to 5 year category.
Well, that's going to be some crazy answers.
And I tell you, kids say the darndest
Yes,
things,
they
and
do.
they really do. It's a really good time. But then, we thought to keep with the kid theme, our magician this year will start right at 10:50 a.m. And so we thought while we have that young crowd there, let's keep them entertained. Old Eckerty Days is all about, part of our purpose is to bring some entertainment and joy to the community, and our community is full of children, and we like children to come in from all over, and so we have tons of activities to keep the kids entertained all day long.
And then there's entertainment that'll go up to the parade.
That is correct. So after refer to my list here, after the magician is over at 11:35, we do have a local band, the Marion Mitchell Band. They have musicians from Crawford, Orange, Perry, and Du Bois County that come to play with them. They will play until the parade time, and then at 1 o'clock our parade will happen, and it typically lasts between 30 and 40 minutes.
Okay.
And then, like I said earlier, once that concludes, anyone who wants to come and participate in our Frontier Days dress-up contest should report to the information booth at 1:30. And then we will do judging between 1:45 and 2, and then by 2:10 we hope to announce those winners. And that is a free contest with some prizes and trophies to be awarded afterwards.
And you don't have to be from Eckerty to enter that.
You do not have to be from Eckerty. You just have to love Indiana and our history.
Okay, because there's been a lot of sesquicentennials and 175ths, and there's a lot of those outfits that are out there, so people may want to bring them back out of the closet and enter.
Absolutely, we welcome all of that. It's all about having a good time.
And the parade, is it too late to enter the parade, or can you still be in the parade if you like?
It is not too late to enter the parade. Parade lineup will start Saturday at 11:30. And that will be on West Eckerty Road. The information booth can direct you there. And then our parade will kick off promptly at 1 p.m. If you wish to get a head start on registration, our Facebook page does have the parade entry form. You can just print it off of there and have it filled out and be ready to go.
Okay, and then the Marion Mitchell Band comes back and performs some more up until you have the has-beens.
The has-beens will be on site, and I recently learned that they've been a winner at the Colgate Country
WBDC
Showdown.
Country Showdown. David Wayne and Terry Kindle. Yeah, the has-beens, they're fun.
We're excited because this is our first year having them, and Janice Brown, she's our entertainment coordinator from there in Eckerty, and we charged her to find some new and exciting things to keep the energy going and help us build momentum. We have had a lot of great acts over the year, and we like to rotate things out to keep it fresh. And so she found the has-beens, and it sounds like we're in for a super treat.
Yeah, you are. And then you have an ice cream eating contest.
We do have an ice cream eating contest. This is several years old now, and the Schwartz Family Restaurant has some amazing homemade ice cream right there in Eckerty, and they bring out the ice cream for us to use in this, and we have an adult category and a child category. There is an ice cream shaped trophy for the winners, and it's really more fun to watch it than to be in it, I believe, from that perspective, because it's just amazing what these people will do to win. And right after the ice cream concludes, we do have a hula hoop contest. In 2015, we added an adult division of that contest, and it was very popular. So we're going to continue to have a child and an adult division of the hula hoop contest. Again, the ice cream and the hula hoop, those are free contests for you to enter, and you can join right up until it starts. On the ice cream, it does until we run out of cups. So once we run out of cups, that means we have no more ice cream, and so
contest is over.
Contest is over.
Okay.
But those are free contests.
And then the cross-cut saw competition.
The cross-cut saw competition is a large event for us, and it has been for over a decade now. That is where teams of people, we have a men's division and a women's division, and they'll go up and we just take winners from each heat. And then at the end is kind of the big deal. The winner of the men's division and the winner of the ladies division will face off against each other.
Okay.
And I have to tell you that we have had several years where the ladies top the men on this contest. So we've got some great lady sawers out there.
If somebody wants to enter that, do they have to have experience, or is that something you can learn pretty easy?
You can learn fairly easy, yeah. And we have some, there are people who have experience on site that if you had questions, you could ask them. That is $10 per team to enter that particular contest.
Now, you have a raffle?
We do have a raffle.
And I know a lot of these is a way of making funds to use to make things better for the town.
Yes.
But you have a raffle.
We do have a raffle, and we use the raffle money to put back into making sure that next year's fest is great, and then also doing improvements throughout our town. There are some things, if you want, anybody from the public is welcome to come to an Old Eckerty Days meeting where we talk about what we do to keep up vacant lots, and we've purchased headstones and things of that in the past for people. But our raffle will start at 6 p.m. and it generally lasts an hour to an hour and 15 minutes to get through usually 100 to 130 prizes that we give away. Yeah. That ranges from cash to furniture to meal tickets. We even have tickets to Actors Theater in Louisville. They graciously donate to our raffle. But that's a big deal. That's a fun time. And tickets are $1 a piece or 6 for $5 and are available at the festival from 5 p.m. on Friday until 10 minutes prior to the drawing on Saturday.
Okay, and then you wrap up the evening with more entertainment.
We do. We bring back another band for Saturday evening. So from 7:30 until 10 p.m. on Saturday, Paul Brogg's band featuring Paula Wiseman will play country music for us. This will be the first time we've had them at Old Eckerty Days, but we're excited to see what they bring from the country genre.
Sounds like a lot of fun in Eckerty, Indiana this weekend.
It is a time to come out and be with us. Eckerty's a small town, but this is just one time a year where we reminisce on our history and people come back and fellowship, listen to some good music, eat some great food, and just have a great time.
And you have sponsors that help to make this happen.
We do have sponsors that help to make this happen. I would be remiss not to mention them. We consider platinum level sponsors to be those who donate their services or time to Old Eckerty Days. And this year's platinum sponsors will be Advanced Disposal, Schwartz Family Restaurant, Deb's Truck Stop, Hope Equipment, and Eastside Sporting in Ferdinand. And then we have our gold level sponsors, and these are corporate sponsors who help things such as the pageants and the free contests and things happen and take place. And that would be Stan Pennington Law Office in Milltown, Indiana, and Qualters Trucking from a hometown guy right there in Eckerty. Those are gold level sponsors this year. Our silver level sponsors are Mulzer Crushed Stone, J&L Construction, their home and pole barn builders from Doolittle Mills, Indiana. And then Jasper Engines and Transmissions been a faithful supporter of us, and we appreciate that. Our bronze level sponsorship is Sabrina Bell Law Office of English, Indiana, and Todd Dickey of Leavenworth, Indiana, their skilled nursing facility. Friends of Old Eckerty Days this year are Best Chairs of Ferdinand, Indiana, and Treasure Chest Antiques along Highway 145 in Eckerty.
Sounds like you've got help from all around the area, which is great.
We do, and a lot of these sponsors have employees and customers who live right in Eckerty, and we appreciate them reaching out and supporting our town to make this festival what it is.
Well, Luke, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you very much. And one more thing, we do have tons of parking, and if you cannot walk for some reason, we have a shuttle that goes around, and we'll be glad to pick you up at your parking spot and bring you right to the festival.
So shuttle in Old Eckerty Days.
In Old Eckerty Days, yes.
Old Eckerty Days is going on really in earnest Friday and Saturday. I know there's a euchre tournament Thursday night, but Friday entertainment begins and the booths are all open Friday and Saturday. This weekend in Eckerty, Indiana, our guest has been Luke Kelly. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching. We are local people watching local people, WJTS.